Hey guys. So before we get into today's episode, just want to let you know that this is the last week that you can save your place for the 28-day Mountain Strong Ankle Pain Challenge. Now, this challenge is kicking off on Monday, the 6th of September. And if you have a history of ankle pain on your hiking adventures or reoccurring sprains or rolls, I really would love to get you involved because I'm so excited and confident that this is going to be a game changer for so many hikers out there. Now, if you want to find out more, please shoot me an email with the words "tell me more" to rowan@summitstrength.com.au or find me through my website and shoot me a message through there. Again, this program is kicking off on Monday, the 6th of September. So if you're interested, please reach out because I do not want you to miss out. So that's enough from that. Let's get into today's episode. Hey, my name is Rowan Smith and I want to welcome you to the Training for Trekking podcast. Now, this is the world's very first podcast which is entirely dedicated to helping you train, prepare, and conquer your upcoming hike, trek, or mountain adventure. So once a week, I'm going to be giving you quality and practical information on the subjects of physical preparation for trekking, dealing with altitude, and nutrition on the trail, so you can know everything you need to be doing to have the best chance of a safe, enjoyable, and successful adventure. So now you know what you're in for. Let's get into today's episode. All right, hello guys. Today we are talking through some quick nutrition tips for early morning hikers. Now, one question I get quite a bit through the Summit Strength crew is what a hiker can eat early morning before a hike. So when someone's waking up before the sunrise to get to the trailhead, or when someone's training before work, and when someone's doing exercise early morning, and what they can use with their nutrition to help improve their performance and their energy. Because when it comes down to it, often with our clients with Summit Strength, we talk about pre-exercise nutrition, I should say, and what you should eat before a session to help give you the energy so you can perform at your best. So if you're on the trail, so you can delay fatigue or start off a hike, being full of energy, or if you're working through a training session so you can have enough, fuel to get through and perform through the whole training session. And one of the keys to this is sort of what you eat before a session or before hiking. Now, one of the recommendations I typically give, as a general recommendation, is to make sure you have, some type of carbohydrates in the hour or hours before exercise to make sure your fuel stores are sort of fully topped up. And the reason behind that is carbohydrates are our main source of energy during most types of exercise, and making sure we sort of have fully topped up levels of stored carbohydrates can be a really easy way of just preventing early fatigue, making sure you sort of hit the ground running with your training, and making sure you're starting off with the best foot forward. Now, this is a recommendation I give all my hikers, aside from the people who, are intentionally avoiding carbohydrates for any particular reason. But if you're not intentionally avoiding carbohydrates, this can be a really great recommendation. And it is all well and good in most situations, but when it comes down to it, what about early morning hikes and early training sessions? Because, waking up before an early morning hike and having a meal, it doesn't sound super appealing. Some people simply just don't like eating first thing in the morning. Some people don't like having to wake up earlier than their training session. They would prefer those, extra sleep. And some people will struggle a bit with digestion. And if they have a snack and they eat a normal snack before training, maybe it just sits in their stomach and it feels uncomfortable. And they're both pretty legitimate concerns, and they're things that do come up a lot. So basically, if you fit into either of these options, say you are hiking early in the morning or you're training early in the morning, and you want to make sure you do have enough fuel to get through these sessions, but you don't particularly like eating in that stage of the morning, or you do struggle a bit with digestion, you're wanting a little bit of help on this, there are a few really simple solutions which I often recommend my clients, and I'm going to share with you today. Now, solution number one for your early morning hikes or your early morning training sessions is one option you can do, instead of having sort of a normal snack or a normal meal, what you can look at is having more of a liquid snack or a liquid meal. So this might be a form of a smoothie, it might be a form of a sports drink, it might be a form of whatever, but something in liquid form. Now, as a general rule of thumb, most forms of liquid food will be digested a little bit quicker in the belly than solid food. And also on top of that, they can be a little bit easier just to get through, even if you don't feel like eating. So one option I often recommend for early morning hikers is to make a smoothie the night before, leave it in the fridge, and then as they drive into the trailhead, just sip on that smoothie. Or if someone's, got an early morning training session, there might be a case of having a few sips of a sports drink, before they start, just to get them that little perk up, that little pick up. And it's really, really quick digesting. It can be a really good option. For some people who sort of, can't get through a whole smoothie before a hike, they'll tend to sort of sip on it for the first half an hour or first hour of a hike and slowly work their way through. But that can be a really, really good option. Now, option number 2, if that doesn't so much work for you, say you don't like smoothies, say it still sits in your stomach, say it's a bit of a pain or whatever it may be, the other option, which is just pretty simple as well, is just having an extra large meal the night before. Now, you don't have to go crazy and get super gluttonous and absolutely stuff yourself, but just making sure you're having a reasonably large meal. You're not restricting your calories on that meal before, and making sure it does have a reasonable serving of carbohydrates. Simply doing that, it's not going to give you huge untapped amounts of energy, but it's probably going to be enough in a lot of situations to make sure those fuel stores are there. And that can be an easy option. So if you can't eat in the morning, just making sure the meal before each time you are having a reasonable amount of carbohydrates. And then option number 3 is if, neither of those work, or maybe sort of you are doing them, but you're still not feeling like you have the pep, like you have all that energy that you may potentially have, the next easy solution is just planning an early stop or an early snack if you are hiking. So maybe say, okay, I'm going to be moving for half an hour, but then, maybe if, on sunrise, we might stop and just have a little bit of breakfast. Or maybe, I might just have a few bits and pieces to snack on as I go. And then, I might feel like a real proper breakfast a couple of hours into the hike or whatever it may be. And that could be an option as well, and just graze as you go. But really the idea behind this is just using some common sense solutions just to think, okay, what can we do to just make sure we do have those fuel stores there? We are fully topped up with energy to reduce this early fatigue. Absolutely people can get through any types of hiking without eating and without considering about this. And, a lot of people will not have to worry about this at all. But if you do find like you struggle for energy, and if you do, or you're looking to sort of optimizing your performance, these might be a few good options for you. So if you are heading out on early hikes, you are doing early training sessions, maybe have a think about one of those options, put them into action, see how it goes, might notice a bit of a difference, and hopefully it does serve you well. So I hope you did enjoy this today, guys. I hope you got a bit of insight, a bit of ideas, and hopefully it does sort of, help you out with these early morning sessions. Now, if you did want some ideas around sort of some of these liquid meals, if you wanted some extra insight into around sort of tips to help prevent early fatigue or expand on anything else we talked about on this episode today, I would absolutely love if you come and find me in the Training for Hiking and Trekking Facebook group. Now, inside that group, I'm always happy to expand on these things we talk about in the episode, always happy to answer any questions, and always happy to share extra information. So if you want to find that, that's the Training for Hiking and Trekking Facebook group. I'll leave a link for that in the show notes below. So thank you very much for listening today, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.